Clap it up for yourselves one time, man. We're here. Yeah. Are you still like writing for people or?
Yeah, like I'm definitely trying to like break into that, but right now I just want to focus on putting out.
Stuff together now or?
I really produced. I'm lazy. I love Splice.
Yeah, they're cool.
The joint we made today, we got the main sound and then chopped it up, and I was like, yeah, this is like sampling.
That was a fun track. Yeah, you can go sit down. It's all good. No, you can sit. You can literally sit. It's fine. I think you're super talented, and having the ability to speak so many languages and do music in those languages, I think that's incredible, and you can totally use that to your advantage, 1000%. The crazy thing about it is that if you were to switch gears and really start to put some energy into Instagram and Twitter and stuff, you have such an amazing story, and you can convey that in so many languages. I think you wouldn't have any problem getting people to follow you and to be inspired by your story and your narrative. You know, the days of having an amazing body of work and some type of label or A&R or producer coming in and like dumping a bunch of money in, those days are long gone. You literally have to do it on your own. And the best and only place to do that is social media, because we don't have money to pay for BDS spins on Hot 97 or radio play, and like music videos on MTV are irrelevant now. I always go back to the homie RUSS and his model because it just works, and it worked for him. And you don't have to love his music, but the fact of the matter is the guy put out 15 projects independently in a matter of 4 years, which means that he put out 4 to 5 albums per year. On average, 15 tracks per album, and it was on SoundCloud, it was on this format, it was through TuneCore, and he was able to build up his fan base. You could really use social media to your advantage, for sure, 1000%. And there's a number of ways you can do it, show people the process, the music making process in the studio. Create this album, but also put music out. If I was an upcoming artist, and I had all those skills that you had, I would literally put up a song every day, like literally, or once every 2 days or 3 days. Just start going and just start building.
It's really just trying to find people that are serious about their craft, where I can be serious with them and take it further. So.
Definitely, and we've all experienced that.
Yeah.
You know how many times, how many hundreds of rappers that I've like done that with. Like, yo, I love your stuff's fire. Yo, try this, do this, and then like you don't hear from them, or they, hit you up a year later, like, yo, can I still use that beat? I'm like, dude, that beat's gone. We all experience it, but from what I've seen, it's really just a consistency thing, where you keep going, and then like for every 29 rappers that like don't pull through, you get that one that's like excited and consistent, and it's almost better that way, because you're sort of like weeding out all the people who you shouldn't be working with. You're gonna find that one that'll pull through, and that's all you need is just that one artist.
That's what it's about, just finding people that's like kind of work on the same pace as you. You know what I mean? And because I try to do.
Well, you want to be careful, because you never want to approach it in a way where it's like you're trying to find someone that works in the same pace as you, because everyone works different, and you never want to like set the bar so high and then just be disappointed all the time. I used to do the same thing, where it was like, well, if I can make 10 beats a day, you should be able to record at least 1 or 2, or at least write a song a day. And there's some people out there that aren't on that level, so you want to almost be mindful of like what you want, but then also give people a chance to grow too. Are you selling beats at all, like online, or?
At this point, I'm just basically giving free, man.
Right. I think you should continue to try to connect with good people, but definitely don't. You should still try the online thing if generating income is something that you think will help you. For most people, for a lot of people, leasing beats enough to where they don't have to work a day job, which is amazing, Video content is key.
Yeah, I'll probably do another video like next week.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that you do it all, use that to your advantage. It's like my man Josh, like I said. Right, Josh?
Right.
No, it's funny because Josh, I had opened up a studio in Brooklyn in 2015, and I had it for 2 years, and I closed it in 2017 because it was just too expensive, and it was just like financially it was like not a good move. But Josh was one of our first interns, and he started as a video intern, and then throughout the course of like the next year, I found out like he made beats and he sang and he rapped and he did all this stuff, and like being able to do all of those things, you can really use that to your advantage in terms of like growing your network and expanding your network. I just think that's something you can just like use to your advantage and be mindful of, you know? So like the fact that you have video and photo skills, like find artists that you could just do a free photo shoot for, or like a video content for something. Yeah. You know, just the ones who are posting up every day or every week are the ones that are gaining subscribers. It's like a content thing. Josh, like I've noticed with you for the past like year and a half, 2 years, you've like posted a lot of content like every day, right?
Just you gotta be consistent. Yeah.
Right. Cool. I can hear that at like, you know, the after party spot.
Right.
You know, 3 a.m. Got a little goose, juice. I always say early on, like, try to mimic as much as possible so you can learn how to maneuver around the DAW and start to produce, and then from there you just grow. What are some of your favorite songs or producers?
EDM, I don't know if you ever heard of like R.L. Grime.
Yeah.
So R.L. Grime is, I mean, that's the father.
R.L.'s dope.
He's dope. And then Bass Nectar is actually really dirty too.
Yeah. So just kind of like listen to their stuff and try to mimic them. Yeah. Get those drum kits too, BLAP-KITS.com, you know?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, man. Sure. There's a lot of amazing drum kits like out there. Yeah, you know. The best ones are on BLAP-KITS, but there are some really good drum kits out there. My man BWB is really amazing too.
I'm kind of new to this whole game, so would you ever be worried about sending some tracks out and then them having people on their team kind of like making a rendition of your joint?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. You're always gonna run that risk.
Yeah.
You're always gonna run that risk.
But at the end of the day, it's like I feel like, you know, like you're not gonna lose any sleep because you created at the end of the day.
Exactly.
They're the only ones that gonna like think like, okay, if they did a rendition like without your permission or something like that, at the end of the day, like think like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I did them dirty, something like that. So,
right. But you know, the track was inspiring enough to want to derive an idea from. I believe that like stuff like that kind of comes full circle, you know, and you kind of have to put yourself out there and not be afraid for that to happen. And if it does, it's like, you know, it's just one of those L's that you gotta take. But it doesn't happen often, so it's not like a regular thing.
Hearing all y'all stories, it actually inspired me. Just listening to y'all, I'm like, man, all y'all got some crazy stories, and especially you got your son with you, man. That really inspired me. So that's just something I wish I had my pops with me to, you know, wish he was here. But
amazing, man. Yeah, really inspiring.